So I'm Anthony Smith, Principal Security Consultant. I work for Vocus, and our relationship with Cisco is we're primarily a reseller. Myself, I work in consultancy, so I help deploy the variety of Cisco products. Predominantly Cisco security products is the area I work in. So Cisco Secure Firewall, we've been offering it for, well, since its inception really, since the migration from the old platform. So Cisco Secure Firewall as it is for the last, nearly 10 years I think, since its first iteration of Sourcefire and then through the various different guises. So the main use cases for Cisco Secure Firewall that we do is either clients looking to upgrade from an old firewall, wanting to move to a next generation firewall, but also we get a lot of clients who have a next gen provider at the minute and it's just not up to the task. It just doesn't have all the feature sets that they need, and Cisco Secure Firewall ticks those boxes really. Without a doubt, the best features are the reporting and analytics. So some vendors will give you the same feature set, but it doesn't give you the power to figure out what's going on in your network. Whereas Secure Firewall, especially with the management platform on top, you can have all of the analytics and see exactly what is going on. So if you want to see not just, say, a source and a destination, you can see what application it is, what URL it is, what type of policy it's hitting, exactly what rule it's hitting, how much data is transferred from it. And then on the back of that you get all of the risk reports, and so you can see how much bad stuff is coming into my network at the minute, and is there anything I need to act on immediately. That data is just at the tip of your fingertips, and it's by far for me the best feature, the best selling point for it. The Secure Firewall, it's improved the customer's security posture. The reason it's improved is because not just it offers the next gen features, so it can do application-aware firewalling. So do you want to allow someone access to, Facebook as an example? You can go to that granular, but again, it's the reporting on the back of it, so you can see what amount of users are accessing Office 365, whether they're having a good or a bad experience. You can see the threats that are coming into your network. You can see anyone who's compromised from within your network. And it does, another powerful thing is if customers already have a Cisco solution, it knits into all those products. So if they've got Cisco ICE or Cisco Duo, Cisco Umbrella, AMP for Endpoint, they all tie in perfectly, and you just get more and more data, and you can automate things. So it can automatically shut you down if it sees something bad. That's really the power of it. So the Secure Firewall could be improved by more configurable feature parity with Cisco ASA, which is the legacy product which Cisco are moving away from. But when configuring things like remote access VPN, not all of the options are there. So you have to download another tool to configure this, which means something that in the old world was quicker to configure takes a little bit longer with Cisco Secure Firewall. Now it has improved, it's getting there, but there are still some features lagging behind like that. Yeah, so the mean time to repair with Cisco Secure Firewall, that really talks more to an event happening, something bad happening to a client, and how quickly can you find what that bad thing was and shut it down. And because of the power of the reporting, you have the dashboards and all of the analytics in the background, you can find it so much quicker. The legacy platform that Cisco had, the ASA, you couldn't have done that. That just wasn't an option to be able to do. And now with Secure Firewall, you can quickly see something, alert on it, and you can act on it so much quicker than you used to be able to. The data points doesn't really come to us. A customer might not necessarily talk to us about that, but sometimes we'll go in and deploy something for a client because they've had an issue. So if we then deploy Cisco Secure Firewall and say, look, you had this event last time, now look at how it would have happened if you'd have had this in place. And we can show them examples of it by generating like dummy data, like test attacks, and go, look how quickly it was shut down, whereas previously it wasn't. And that's where, again, they see the value of it. Cisco Talos is well regarded in the industry. I guess it doesn't really need much explanation, but having that back-end intelligence, knowing, I mean, Cisco has a gravity of it. It's so well regarded that we know their security intelligence is so up to date that having Cisco Talos in the background, knowing the Cisco Secure Firewall is up to date with the latest threats, gives clients peace of mind. So they can be sure that they're acting on the best available data. So personally, I deal with a lot of other vendors as well as Cisco Secure Firewall. And some, they all have the same features, which is fine. You expect that of a modern day firewall. Cisco, again, stands out on the analytics. It is the best for analytics, for getting that reporting data. Where it might fall short is honestly the price point. Some vendors offer a bit more for the money. They might offer more features through less licensing, as an example. So you don't have to buy 2 or 3 licenses to get maybe URL filtering or malware filtering. Other vendors will offer it with a single license, so it's simplified. So that's the downside, but the upside is again, the analytics. The value we add to our customers as a reseller is the knowledge. So we don't just sell them, here's Cisco Secure Firewall. It's here's Cisco Secure Firewall and 10 years worth of experience deploying it. So we can deploy it in the correct way. And we know you don't just need the firewall, we know you need the management platform. We know you need this level of licensing, this many VPN licenses. So it's the value add of knowing how it should be deployed and installed in a network, rather than just here's a box. It's not as complicated as some other Cisco products, the licensing. There is a couple of tiers of license you can get, which I think is fine. The price point is probably, I think, a little too high for the market. There are other vendors that come in lower, that offer more for for lesser license options. So I think Cisco could do a bit more there. The return on investment isn't, again, not as someone who uses the product, but the way I would look at it is we spend a lot of time developing our consultancy staff and our salespeople in knowing how to sell it, in knowing the product. And by knowing that and knowing the value of it, then we get a return as a company because we get more clients deploying it. The secure firewall deployment models are either as edge firewalls, sometimes internal firewalls, but it's usually perimeter firewalls, effectively stopping the bad traffic in. And when they come to deploy it, it's a mixed bag. Sometimes they'll ask us to help them because we have the experience, or they'll have their own technical team and they just need someone to provide the product for them. Secure firewall is more complex to deploy than previous Cisco firewall products. But the feature sets are greater. What you can do with it is different. So I think inherently it is going to be more complex to deploy. But it's not so complex that it's not achievable. There are some products out there that you need to read a lot to be able to deploy it. And Cisco Secure Firewall, it's not reached that level yet, but it is a complex product. There's no denying that. Yes, so the Cisco Firewall migration tool, we've used that quite a few times from its infancy and beta product when it only offered ASA. all the way through to Palo Alto, Fortinet. And we've used those to migrate to Cisco Secure Firewall as well. And it's come on a long way. It's a lot better than it used to be. When it initially came in, maybe there wasn't as much trust there that it would give you everything you need. But where it is now is great. So if you've got a firewall that you want to migrate, you feel confident using that tool, basically. Yeah, Cisco support, from experience, not just on Secure Firewall, but across all products, is always good, reliable, and if someone says they're going to get back to you in 4 hours, they do. Not all vendors do that, unfortunately. But Cisco are always there, and they're always there with the right level of support, which is key. So when we need to speak to TAC, we know if we need a Secure Firewall engineer, that's who we get. We don't get someone who's never seen the product before. As for vendors go, it's probably the gold standard. Cisco support, 1 out of 10 Cisco support is probably a 10 out of 10, without a doubt. So Secure Firewall stability is good. I think the management platform needs a little bit of work. I don't think that is as robust, just from a stability point of view. Things like deployment times of configuration, that has got better over the years, but it's still got a little bit of work to do so that it deploys every time when you click that button. And the management platform, it has a bit of trouble holding data. But that's not really the Secure Firewall, that's the management platform. So scalability of Secure Firewall it's really good, and again, that's down to the management platform because of the way it structures your access policies, what allows traffic in, what allows traffic out. You can easily add multiple regions, locations, types of firewalls into the management platform, and as soon as you do, they get all of those policies. So in the old world, you'd have had to have gone in, configured each one time and time again. This version, you import it, and it's ready to go. So for scalability, it's easy. So a client evaluating Cisco Secure Firewall, the advice we need to give them is, when you're first evaluating it, put real-world data through it. You can't see the benefits of it if you just turn it on and look at the device as it is. It's when you see the traffic going through it, you see the power of the analytics and the reporting and the event data that comes through. And if you show that, especially to someone technical, they'll understand how much easier it's going to be troubleshooting with that platform than it is any other platform they've had before. Moving on to the reporting side, anyone who's ever asked for a report on how many virus attacks, malware attacks have I had this month, it's like a one-click, it's all there for you. And that data can be stored, for a long time. So that would be my best advice. Put it in a real-world environment where you're going to get useful data out of it. Cisco Secure Firewall for me probably gets about 8 out of 10. So the reason not 10 is just because of mainly the feature parity. It's not quite there being able to do everything on the GUI platform, and I think the price point is probably still a little bit too high.